Be a part of Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. Starting at $1 a month, you can enjoy Going In Raw ad-free, gain access to the daily 30-minute Going In Raw post-show, exclusive merchandise, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.
Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
What's up, it's your girl, Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you're watching Going In Raw. You like that?
This is Shayna Baszler, and you're watching Going In Raw.
What's up? This is the most must-see WWE superstar of all time and his lovely, gorgeous wife,
Marie.
and you are going in SmackDown Live.
This is the glorious one, Bobby Roode, and you're watching Going In Raw.
Hey guys, this is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw.
What's up? It's the moonwalking, trash-talking princess of Staten Island. I want to remind you all that Mela is money, and you're watching Going In Raw.
Hi, this is Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke watching Going In the Raw.
This is the knockout artist, Cassius Ohno, and you're Going In Raw.
Hey, Brendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, and available wherever fine podcasts are. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notify bell next to it to make sure you're always getting your new Going In Raw notifications. It's very, very important you do that because the community tab on Mondays, Fridays, during these news episodes that we're doing. I post question threads there and on the Twitter.
Oh, yes.
At Real Going In Raw. But, so yeah, and throughout the week, I like to post polls. Sometimes they're very serious to find out your opinion on programming and shows. And other times they're not so serious. It's stuff like crossing streams in fast food meals. Yay or nay, that kind of stuff.
Yay.
So make sure
Let's do that for lunch today.
What do you want to do?
Which
two fast foods? That sounds horrible. Think about it.
Taco Bell.
Okay.
And
immediately you're off to a bad start.
McDonald's.
Oh,
I think it's the two closest
oh
places.
God, I can feel my heart seizing up on me right now as we speak.
Or Five Guys in Taco Bell.
I don't think I'll ever have Five Guys again. I had it once.
Jr. in Taco Bell.
I had it once, and I had to go back to Five Guys, and I looked at the person making the burgers, and I said, "You are too much." So, anyways,
ooh, Carl's Jr. and El Pollo Loco.
How about El Pollo? No. How about Del Taco and Arby's?
They're not nearby though.
Well, yeah, it's more of an adventure. So, anyways, we are there. We are also on the Patreon at patreon.com/Stephen Larson. We have a variety of reward tiers, starting with the $1 tier, which gets you access to the Going In Raw Discord group. It's a fun community, and you also get the show ad-free, completely ad-free. Today's a bit different. I hope we can do it ad-free. It might be a little bit late because Comcast
still doing work.
Talk about being too much. Comcast is down the street, and they're making it more but better. But in the meantime,
hopefully.
Well, that's what they say. They're doing all these upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime,
there's a huge downgrade to no internet.
I mean, we're as good as living in the 1880s over here, man.
Basically, look at this.
We've got paper. We've got paper. Too much.
These laptops are just set dressing pretty much.
Dude, I'm telling you.
And I got to look for other news stories or updates on my phone.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. I'm not texting. I'm not on Twitter.
Definitely not ideal.
No.
But, Monday, because we were told, we were given.
Yeah, at least we're given advance warning, so that's cool.
Our advance warning was some dude's business card, shoved through our door or on our little door handle thing with on the back scrawled in quill pen. It was internet will be worked on 8 to 9.
No, it was like a ransom letter. That'd be funny if they cut out letters from the magazines and glued it on a piece of
and
paper.
Of course, here's the thing. Of course, the window that they're going to be working on the internet, and thus the internet being down, when he said this is when it's going to be, it was always 30 minutes before we go live. So I think yesterday it was supposed to be up until 10, and today it was supposed to be up till 10:30 or 11.
Well, yesterday was supposed to be till 10:30.
Okay.
I think today was supposed to be till 11.
Okay, yeah.
Something like that.
So it's around an hour to a half hour to an hour before we go live. So it's okay, cool. That's if everybody does their job right, which I'm not saying they're not doing their job right.
Yeah.
That's if everything goes to plan, which it never does. I'll put it that way. I'll put it that way.
Assuming then that things are off, I was going to say they might be taking their lunch break soon, so might get internet for us so we can...
Oh, for the lunch break? Yeah. I don't know, man. They'll probably just keep it off for the lunch break.
This whole area.
What do they care?
Including my house.
They don't care. They're not fans of Going in Raw.
No, you don't know that.
I don't know. Maybe
they probably don't even know our office is here.
Probably a good point. So anyways, we're on the Patreon. And then also, just this morning, last night actually, I made it live, but this morning I put up a video that a lot of you saw because I've already gotten like a bunch of orders for this. I'm trying to clean up my garage. And in doing so, I realized that I still have boxes and boxes, 750 copies, I speculated. Wow. Well, the cool thing is, here's the good thing. I originally, 12 years ago, I ordered 2,000 of these things. And so I've sold 1,250. Now about 60 more because I put up my graphic novel from 2006 and I added like a little sticker and a pinup. It's now on the Friendo Market. I got a little image here from the Friendo Market. There's my idiot face holding the comic book. It's called Video. It's a weird book. Do you like that? You like that comic book?
Yeah,
I like it.
It's all right. It was good. I enjoyed it.
It's okay. You get a little Friendoville sticker, and then you get this pin-up.
Way to sell your work, man.
All right. It is what it is.
At least say something positive.
I don't like selling myself on stuff. I'd rather people buy it out of pity because I hate it.
Oh, all right.
Than me try to
say, here, I'm trying to clean up my garage. Essentially donate $20 or how much. I don't know how much you're talking.
It's $20. Yeah.
Donate $20, help Steve clean out his garage.
Well, here's my thing. I really love the Friendoville sticker. That alone is worth like $20 to me.
It's not holographic.
And the pinup's cool too.
If it were holographic, I'd agree with you.
Ooh, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, all our stickers going forward should just be holograms.
I mean, that's not a bad idea. It's up there at Friendo Market right now. Check it out. Or not.
It's a good read. I read it. I read it years ago.
I think my wife read it. She didn't understand it. That's cool though. She's not gonna lie to me. She's like, yeah, it's cool. Whatever. I don't know. It's cool that you did it. I think that's her approach. It's cool that I did something. Anyways, buy it or don't. What do I care? It's there. Friendo Market.
Buy it. And I say that, and I don't see any cut of the money. This is all Steve's money. Buy it.
Yeah, it's all my money, man.
It's all his money.
I gotta pay for my family to go to Europe next year, man.
It's true. Yeah. So this is the helping Steve clean out his garage / go to his sister's wedding fund.
Go to my sister's wedding. Where are you getting married? Are you gonna do it downtown? No, I'm gonna go to a castle in Scotland. Awesome, Monica. I've got like 1 million stepkids, so that's great.
Yeah, that flight alone is gonna be expensive.
I know. I've got Hopper. I've got the Hopper app.
Oh, I had that for a while.
Yeah. Did it help you?
Mm-mm.
No. Great. That's awesome. Well, shit.
What did I use it for? Oh, when we went on vacation last year.
Mm-hmm. Did you like? Because I'm sort of half paying. I'm paying attention to it, but I'm not like living or dying by it. I'm sort of expecting to pay a lot more than it's saying, but I'm hopefully I can afford it. If not, credit cards.
Yeah. Let's worry about it later.
Exactly.
Pay for it now, worry about it later.
Make more money. Make another comic book later.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Anyways, talking about and then the first 100 orders, I forgot to mention this. We're already at order like number 60, I think. Order number I've got about 120, I think, or 110 of these postcards, these original postcards that you guys get if you get in the first 120.
Give me more of the t-shirts.
No, but I'll probably put those up at some point.
That's a good idea.
There's bootleg shirts of those. People the Shoot Your TV, Read Comics.
Yeah.
They're like on Redbubble and shit. Like people are out there making bootleg Shoot Your TV, Read Comics shirts.
With the same font?
No, they don't know what font it is. And I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, don't say it. It'd be even more bootleg.
Exactly.
Issue takedown notices. That's your idea.
It's just weird. I mean, I would imagine that it was people who have seen our programming over the past 8 years.
Yeah.
Or there's that one picture of the dude from Atmosphere.
That has your shirt on, yeah.
What's his name? Slug?
Something like that.
That has my shirt on.
Yeah, I remember I saw that in an issue of Spin Magazine. And I texted you. I said, oh, this is pretty incredible. This dude got your shirt on.
It's pretty neat, but then it led to people bootlegging my shit.
Yep.
I'm just trying to make I'm making $1 and a cent.
Steve's trying to make $1 cent.
That's all I'm trying to do.
Exactly.
Anyways.
Someone else trying to make $1 and cent in this business, the USA Network. And apparently they're tired of Raw with his ratings going down the toilet, sucking up the ratings of their follow-up program like Unsolved, The Sinner, And The Purge.
You know what USA told?
Isn't that what the show? It was Unsolved, right?
Oh yeah, man.
That was good.
That was on TNT. That wasn't USA.
Yeah, it was on USA.
Yeah, it was on USA. That's right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and it's on right after
TNT?
Raw.
That's so weird. Yeah. Yeah, it was great. I loved it.
I need to watch it.
You should watch it.
I really do.
You know what USA told WWE about how long Raw goes? They said, it is too much.
So this is from Fightful.com. This is their story. Exclusive, I believe. Quote, Fightful.com has learned that WWE Monday Night Raw has a hard out time of 11 p.m. Eastern as opposed to the soft end time they've been enjoying since the 90s. Of course, from the Attitude Era, they would try to get upper hand on WCW by going over their time slot.
Yeah.
We're told this will begin with next Monday's edition of Raw and continue for the foreseeable future. A source close to the situation indicated it's likely a USA Network call.
And the Wrestling Observer newsletter had a little bit more on it. Said this decision came after the second lowest watched third hour in the modern history of the show. In theory, this may help the overall rating slightly. Most weeks, maybe 1/100th of a ratings point. Because the third hour... Did you add that, or is that Meltzer?
This is all Meltzer.
Okay.
Man. This is direct.
Because the third hour is the lowest rated hour of the show almost every week, but sometimes the overrun goes up because some fans know to tune out in the third hour and come back at 11 for the show closing angle. Plus, you get the people who tune in for the show that is up next and kind of a double dip. Historically, the overrun would be the highest rated part of the show, but that's no longer the case. This is...
I mean, that's a good first step, cutting the overrun.
They should cut the whole third hour.
There's another hour to excise from the show. Maybe you'll see the ratings go up.
Yeah,
it's an endurance test to watch all 3 hours of Raw.
It is. It really is.
And I'm happy they decided to cut 10 minutes off because sometimes at 11 o'clock I'm like, oh gosh, I just want to go to bed. I'm so tired.
I know. Well, here's the thing: when the main event starts at
10:59
Eastern, 10:53, and they're still walking down the ramp.
Gosh, we're gonna have a 15-minute overrun.
Right. So this is a good first step, but do you think this is actually going to increase ratings?
No.
There will be almost...
maybe of the programming that's following Raw.
Yeah, maybe. But there will be...
I mean, I haven't seen Unsolved or The Sinner or The Purge. I've heard good things about Unsolved and The Sinner.
Yeah.
I haven't watched The Purge at all. I don't know anybody who has. So maybe it's good. I have no idea.
I haven't heard any buzz around.
Yeah. But USA is definitely getting into the original programming business.
I've heard good things about
between
Sinner,
all those, Mr. Robot. If they think there's more benefit to them as a network to focus less on wrestling, even though they just paid a crap ton of money to WWE for Raw, and then make sure that the original program gets its full hour that's allotted to it.
Yeah,
I don't know. It doesn't necessarily speak to a great deal of confidence in the current state of Raw, though. Let
me ask you something. If they went, and I know. Here's the thing. I understand that, the third hour of Raw would probably do better than anything else USA puts in that hour.
I think so.
Well, given that, the only thing still to this day, even though Raw's ratings are going down, the only thing that beats it is sports and news, which traditionally always gets blockbuster ratings.
Yeah.
And so if they were to put an extra hour of, or if they were to create a new original series and put it there, if it was like a huge ratings grab, then maybe. But if they just added more Crisley to the hour, I don't think that would really do as good as an extra hour of Raw.
Yeah.
But that being said, I don't know how the monetary metrics would work, but I would think if Raw got cut back to 2 hours, wouldn't you would think that would increase ratings for that 2 hour block?
You would think
right?
so. It's the first 2 hours as it is. It does better than the third.
Because out of necessity, I honestly think out of necessity, creative would get better. They would have to pack more in those 2 hours.
As we see with SmackDown.
Yeah, exactly. SmackDown is a very enjoyable show.
More creative with how you interweave stories to get more people involved.
The 2 hour NXT UKs are great too.
Well, you're just watching two 1 hour programs.
I know, but still.
They're distinct. So
are they really though? Are they really?
So we'll see how if this is going on for the foreseeable future, how it affects the writing on Raw. Probably not a lot because they still have 180 minutes to deal with. Losing 10 minutes ain't gonna make a huge difference. They're going to cut one segment from the show.
They'll cut one recap from the show.
No, they won't. They'll cut a segment.
They'll cut an actual segment.
They'll cut an actual segment.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, man. I don't know. It's hard to believe this is going to do much for ratings, but
Meltzer says the slight increase in ratings. We're talking 1/100th of a rating point.
Well, where does he get that from, though?
I mean, I think it's just Nesbitt, man.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, that sounds about right, though. Like minimal.
Yeah.
Minimal. But like you said, no, I agree with you. This is a good first step.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good first step in probably a couple necessary steps.
Yes.
Look, and we've said it before. I've said it a million times. It's funny because, like, I'll listen. I've listened, like, especially this past week. I'm not going to name any names, but I've listened to a couple of podcasts out there, and like we really do try to focus on the positive. We try, even the stuff that's crap. We try to take either a comedic spin on it or try to make it positive. We try to see the good in it. We try to give constructive criticism, not just crap on it. But there is a lot to like in the rest of WWE's programming.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they put out a lot. By no means should anybody endeavor to be a completist. We're completists.
By nature of our jobs.
With WWE, by nature of our jobs. If we don't cover something, we're going to have a lot of people saying, why aren't you covering this? And so, the fact is, we're not working 8-hour days on anything other than this. So it's totally fine to do that, and we enjoy doing it. That being said, Raw, like you said, is a chore to get through.
Yeah.
It is a chore to get through.
Is.
So it is kind of nice that there's a hard 11 p.m.
Yes, 10 fewer minutes of chore to deal with.
Yeah.
Speaking of something else, someone else has apparently been a chore.
Yeah, what is this all about?
This is
Braun Strowman.
Yeah, this is from PW Insider Elite.
And it says
the transcript is from Cage Side Seats.
Thank you. One of the things. So who is this?
It's Mike Johnson.
Mike Johnson. Okay. One of the things that I heard from multiple people. We're talking 4 different people. There are times where Strowman is negligent when it comes to showing up on time. He has a reputation at times for leaving a little early, and sometimes he makes mistakes in terms of etiquette in the backstage in the locker room. Sometimes, as one person put it, he's his own worst enemy and his own worst advocate. They would be high on him, and just when he gets to the point where you think the next step is putting him into the centerpiece position for the company, something happens and he makes some sort of misstep backstage, and people within management kind of cool on him, and they take a step back. Maybe he is going to be Big Show 2.0, because that was the same kind of stuff that we would hear with Big Show. That was all just sort of rumors, like that he would get kicked down to developmental.
Yeah, because he was out of shape.
He was out of shape. His work ethic wasn't great.
Yeah.
And look at him. I've always sort of seen him as the Shaq less of the WWE, a guy who could coast on what he already just naturally brought to the table, but because he didn't put in the extra effort. I mean, look, Shaq's going to go down as one of the all-time greats.
Yeah.
Like, he's absolutely. And that's just a testament to, man, how dominant that guy was.
Oh, yeah,
he could
the
coast.
natural ability he possessed.
Big Show could have gone down as one of the all-time greats. He could have been up there, and I'm not sure about Andre the Giant territory, but he could have made a push for Andre the Giant territory. But, because he was so inconsistent throughout the years, and anybody would kill to have a Big Show career.
Oh, yeah.
But that
Surefire Hall of Famer.
He could have been so much more, I feel.
Yeah.
And, I mean, given what we're reading here, man, I don't know. Because we were just talking about the Roman Reigns situation when he was ducking, when he had to leave to fight cancer. I was like, okay, I wonder if now Braun seems like he's going to be stepping in the leadership position. That seems to be in question at this point.
Assuming this is true.
Assuming it's true, but 4 people are saying that.
That's true. That's a good point.
I don't know.
I can't remember who, but didn't we hear that someone else within the last few years got some heat because they were leaving shows early?
Yeah.
But I can't recall who it was.
Give me a second, I'll tell you.
But what's interesting, too, is more often than not, Braun's in the main event segment, or so it seems. A lot of times he is.
Crap, I'm really trying to put my finger on it now.
But I'm not imagining it. That this happened.
You're not imagining it, no.
At some other point.
Somebody was leaving early. That's
and got
annoying.
in trouble. I mean, if we had internet, I'd look.
Yeah.
So that's a bummer if this is true, because Braun really does seem like he should be the guy to take over the top spot while Roman is out.
Yeah.
Based on his connection with the crowd.
On the other hand, you have to kind of appreciate that that he's not being given preferential treatment just because of the fact that he, when he's on camera, he does really well with the crowd.
Yeah.
If you're not going to be a backstage leader, when you're being put in a position, I actually kind of believe that's one of the reasons, one of several reasons, one of many reasons that Roman Reigns was given the push he was given.
Oh, everybody respected him.
Everybody respected him. Everybody in the back could count on him. Like, you can't. That's the kind of, and that's. I think it's also why people open their eyes when you hear Dolph Ziggler. They're paying how much to Dolph Ziggler? He's been there forever. I will guarantee you, he's one of those guys backstage that is needed. Because of all this talent coming in to show them the ropes. NXT can only do so much. I would think you have a steady hand like Dolph Ziggler, and that's why they're going to pay him so much.
Yeah.
You know?
Cage side seats this morning, they had, speaking of locker room leaders, I'll mention this because I thought it was kind of funny. I guess Cody, it must have been when Cody and the Young Bucks and Kenny were on Jericho's podcast and the Jericho Cruise, and they were talking about backstage leaders. And how you don't really appoint yourself a backstage leader. You have to carry yourself like one. People respect you. And I guess there was some meeting backstage where CM Punk was saying, as a leader of the locker room, and they both said, if anybody says, I'm the locker room leader, they're not the locker room leader. And so they were just making fun of CM Punk, saying, as a leader of the locker room, you guys got to pick up your garbage and stuff here. And apparently Booker T just went and dumped a bunch of garbage on the floor.
Oh my God, that's great! I didn't hear that. Maybe I didn't get through the whole podcast.
Oh, I didn't. I just read it on Cage Side Seats.
That's hilarious,
and that's hilarious.
That is.
I thought that was so funny.
That is great. This is. I mean, it's interesting. It's one of those things where it's like, I guess some of it makes sense. Now. In hindsight, now I mean, even going just back a week ago to Crown Jewel.
Yes.
It kind of it makes some amount of sense.
Oh, here we go. This is a quote. Cody says, and it worked with a certain demo of the locker room, but there was one meeting where Booker T was in the room and Punk hit as the locker room leader, I'm telling you guys all to pick up your trash. And Booker literally threw his trash on the floor and said, he's not telling me to pick up my trash. They had this whole interaction. So Glenn Jacobs, who was the actual locker room leader, right? And then Jericho says, if Kane tells me to pick up the trash, I pick up the trash. If CM Punk tells me to pick up the trash, go F yourself.
Oh, that's great. That's so awesome. That's hilarious. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, and conversely, I don't think we're really talking about it today because whatever.
What?
The murmur, the rumblings that there are huge plans for Drew.
Yeah, there's
going
that.
forward.
And then also in the newsletter, they said there's a program with Brock going forward that involves more than Strowman.
Yeah, that's one reason why Rollins name dropped him during his promo.
Yeah.
So we're looking at like a Drew Rollins type thing. And then I would imagine
Brock,
probably
you can't
Dean,
really take
maybe.
Braun out of the equation quite yet.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, you can
who
have
knows?
him. I mean, that's been his history. Is just like he gets so close, and then they'll derail him into another.
But
feud.
we saw that with Roman too. So I between that and then I've read it elsewhere. People are speculating that that's the path they're taking creatively with Braun's creative. Is they still put a lot of stock in someone pinning Lesnar.
Yeah,
clean, and that maybe they were just setting up the story so that happens for Braun at Mania or something like that.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, that could be. Again, no, I mean, I sort of said 4 people when you said, if it's true. I know, seriously, like, if this is true, it's like, who knows who these 4 people are? It could be, I don't know, maybe my dad's talking to them, to PW Insider.
I don't know, it could be.
He said, by the way, that Mr. Robot movie where he plays Freddie Mercury, he said he feels like a VH1 special could have been better.
Yeah, I read the Pitchfork review, and it said it was like film versions of a Wikipedia entry.
Yeah. Which is what the trailer
kind of looked like.
When you're so lazy, you call the movie Bohemian Rhapsody. Like, that's a lazy
how
title.
does it play into the story?
It's a lazy title.
It kind of is.
He was pretty shocked because he said that the movie kind of portrays him as being very timid and having like insecurity problems throughout his life. And he was like, I never got that from him from interviews. I'm like, I didn't know you were such a Freddie Mercury aficionado, Dad, but I trust you.
I read something about that where it said because initially Sacha Baron Cohen was attached to play Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
But then the story of the movie wasn't so much about Freddie. It was about, this sounds ridiculous, the perseverance of Queen after he passed. Because they still, release records and tour and stuff. You know, they had the singer for Bad Company,
Paul
Paul Rogers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Tour with them for a while, even though he sounds absolutely nothing like Freddie Mercury.
I kind of appreciate that, though.
Yeah.
You know, like Alice in Chains got a dude who sounds exactly
like Lane Staley, I know. But I mean, I'm reading that, I was like, that's not, I mean, I guess that's something, but that's not the story I think most people want to see.
Yeah, no, man, give me Freddie Mercury.
Exactly.
At the same time, like, you know, when you go from, and I love Sacha Baron Cohen. I think that would have been a fascinating choice.
Yeah.
A bit more so, and I like Rami Malek. You know, but I don't know. Freddie Mercury was so. It's like trying to get somebody to play Bowie.
Yeah,
you know. I asked my dad. I was like, did they have Bowie in the movie because of Under Pressure? And he was like, they didn't even do Under Pressure. I was like, I want to know that story.
Yeah, no. There's a lot of stories I'd like to know.
Right, exactly.
I don't know.
Not just like you said, the Wikipedia version.
Yeah, no. Here, let's handle some business real quick here,
All right,
Steve.
Sounds good.
Before we get to the next story.
On my script here.
Yeah.
Here we go. Before we continue, here's a word from our sponsor, forhims.com. Hey, Larson.
Yeah.
2 out of 3 men start losing their hair by the age of 35. Did you know that?
I did kind of have firsthand knowledge of that. And if you're noticing a receding hairline or a bald spot, would you rather try odd solutions or worse yet, do nothing?
Odd solutions, to be honest with you.
No, you wouldn't. You'd want to turn to medicine and science,
Yeah,
Steve.
probably.
With forhims.com, you can get your hands on well-known generic equivalents to brand name prescriptions to treat hair loss. You can say goodbye to the snake oil pills and gas station supplements.
Gas station? Really? I got to say goodbye to my gas station supplements?
You can still use the ones to give you the energy, but not to treat your hair loss.
Fair
if
enough.
you want to.
But tell me, do you still need to waste time sitting around a waiting room just to go in for an awkward doctor's visit to get yourself some Hims? No?
No. Hims offers real doctors and medical grade solutions to deal with hair loss. Just go to forhims.com, answer a few questions, and the doctor will look over your order and bam!
Nice.
Products are shipped directly to your door.
Hey-o. And right now, Going In Raw listeners can get a trial month of Hims for only $5 right now while supplies last. Go to forhims.com/GIR. That's forhims.com/GIR.
Again, we'd like to thank forhims.com for sponsoring today's episode, and you're really helping out Going In Raw by going to forhims.com/GIR.
You know who could maybe use some of that for Hims? Braun Strowman. We're going to go back to Braun Strowman now. Maybe to help his wellness because it seems like he's hurt.
Yeah, he might be hurt. This is from Wrestling Observer Radio. This is an exchange between Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer that Steve and I will,
Can I be Dave?
of course, reenact. Transcripts again, courtesy of Cage Side Seats.
You're going to be Brian Alvarez now.
Yeah, I don't remember how does his voice sound.
Very normal.
All right, I should be able
like
to do
the
that.
most normal
I should be able
dude.
to pull that off. All right, you ready?
I
get the
guess
first
I'm
line.
trying to be Dave Meltzer. I can't like in my
You'll
car.
hit it from time to time. Just try, and if it doesn't work, it's fine. Here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Are you channeling your inner Meltzer?
I'm trying, but
you got a good pump on this morning.
There's too much pressure.
You got a good pump on
I
this
didn't.
morning.
I just did cardio today. I didn't get jacked.
Oh man, you shouldn't. You want to go do a couple push-ups?
I should get some resistance bands.
You
out
should.
real
We
quick.
should. I have a bunch at home. I should bring them over. All right, here we go. Remember when Raw was in Seattle and mentioned that Braun looked like he was limping down the ramp?
Oh, I mentioned that the other day. Braun's knees are shot.
Cannot move. And all throughout this show, he had to chase guys.
I got to tell you something. I'm not going to do Meltzer. That was a huge mistake. He should not. They should know better than this. Braun Strowman, the second or third time he went out there when he was running, he couldn't. So for the first time when he tried to run, he was okay for a little while. I think he may have even hurt himself worse, but I knew that in Crown Jewel when he walked down that ramp. I could just see that it's like, oh my God, this guy's knee's shot. And I'm sure that bump when he took that F5 over the top rope to the floor at 300 whatever pounds that he weighs, 380 pounds, there's no way that was a good idea. But when he was running that last time on Raw, it was barely a walk. Do not book him in anything that requires movement because it's like the whole aura was shooting right out of him. The aura of being a monster. He looked like one of those immobile dudes. It's like, that's not what you want your top guy to look like. I made that joke when we were doing our Raw recap. He looks goofy. He looks like a Benny Hill sketch when he runs.
Cage Side Seats in this story, they had, because whoever wrote this article went back and watched Braun chasing Miz in the Miz Taraj.
Yeah.
You know, the horror movie scene where he comes out of the garbage truck.
Oh, yeah.
And chases after him. Compared how he ran to this last week on Raw. And the guy said he didn't really see much of a difference. However, you notice in both of them that when he runs, he's mostly just moving with his hips.
Yeah.
He's not really bending his knees a lot.
Yeah.
Which could indicate, I don't know.
I mean, that's been part of his thing, has been running, though. Remember the entire, like, how many times and how many more times in the house show circuit did him and Kevin Owens do that running shoulder tackle thing? Like, a ton. And then he would, like, chase. That was part of his thing, is, like, he's this crazy monster who can, like, run kind of fast.
And chase anybody down, yeah.
And chase anybody down, and it was terrifying. But evidently, God.
I mean, if you're 6'8", 380 pounds, it's going to take a toll on your joints, especially when
Yeah.
you're being that physical every day, plus working out.
Plus, I mean, just the travel
Yeah, all
schedule,
of it,
too.
all
Like,
of
if
it.
you watch that Andre the Giant documentary, you hear about what kind of toll that took on his body just in general. I'm sure
Yeah.
the knees are included there.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if
man.
we're dealing, if Braun is, if both these, this sounds more like them just speculating and not really any sources per se, but who knows? If Braun is dealing with an injury and if he is potentially have a little bit of attitude issues, it could explain a lot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Getting back to the locker room leader stuff. What's funny because like talking about obviously. So who was it? Who was it that named Finn, Bray, Seth, and Roman as locker? Was it Aleister Black?
Yeah,
as locker room leaders.
Yeah, and that cool Facebook post.
Yeah. Another guy that I kind of wonder about, whenever you see him in non-character stuff, Drew McIntyre. It wouldn't surprise me at all, given what he went through, especially being released after being the guy that they, kept on referring to as the guy who was handpicked, the chosen
one, yeah.
And then being released and then finding himself and coming back so strong.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if he's the kind of guy. I could never see him saying, I'm a locker room leader.
No.
He's just probably the kind of guy that people go up to and you can rely on him to be that guy.
Yeah.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't surprise me if that was one of the reasons among many, because Drew is money. We know that maybe they're grooming him to be
Could be
a top guy.
Could be. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I would not be surprised. It seems like the guys who are, for the most part, well-traveled.
Yeah.
Got a wealth of experience.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Been all over the world and have wrestled anywhere from bingo halls to WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
That you'd think those are the guys that probably have a pretty good perspective on the business.
Yeah,
and
sure.
the guys you'd want to go to for advice.
Yeah.
It would make perfect sense.
I could totally see that.
I mean, Roman's not necessarily one of those guys because he hasn't been on the indies, but he apparently gained the respect of the entire locker room nonetheless, and it could be for a variety of reasons.
I still wonder if his fight with his initial
with
fight with
leukemia
cancer.
the initial time
I
gave
mean,
him I imagine that would have to give you incredible perspective on things.
I would imagine so. So, but yeah, getting back to Braun's knees, ouch.
Yeah, they probably do hurt. I wouldn't be surprised. That's a lot of weight to carry around in the run that much.
They do. He does a lot. You know, he does a lot. Like when you see the kind of moves that, I don't know. At some point, don't you have to say, I shouldn't be doing this because it's just gonna kill the longevity that I have. It's like, because I'm trying to think like when he does stuff, like when he does stuff in the ring. He has a drop kick, doesn't he?
He doesn't do it very often, but yeah, he does.
Okay, he's got a drop kick.
He does in the game.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's why I think about it.
But he's done a couple times, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know why he would take that F5 spot over the top rope. It's dramatic. But
yeah,
it doesn't make him look good. It makes Brock look good.
Yeah. So, I mean, was that... Well, Meltzer, I think it was Meltzer who was also said... Yeah, it was in the newsletter when he was talking about Crown Jewel. He was saying that the way that people perceived that match was like a 180 from what was intended. What was intended was people were supposed to focus on Braun kicking out of the F5s and the fact that he was woozy from the title shot to the head or whatever it was. I didn't watch it. I just hear that's what happened.
Yeah.
And that was supposed to make Braun look super strong. But everybody just saw it as that was a squash match. Holy crap.
Yeah,
they just buried Braun.
I know.
Which is kind of an interesting...
Well, there's a way around that, and that's to allow Braun to get actually some offense in.
Oh, there's a million ways that they probably should have done that to get the effect that they
If you
wanted.
want Braun to look strong despite an attack and a bunch of F5s, have him mount a bit of offense. In the end, though, the initial attack and the F5s is just too much. That's a story you can get behind. Instead, having him go in the ring, take a shot to the head, and then eat F5s with a minimum of offense, that's just going to look like a squash match.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it was one shot to the head with a title. It wasn't like Baron broke a baseball bat over his head or something like that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know that WWE is bigger than Disney?
No, and they never will be, despite what Stephanie McMahon has to say. She was
Whoa.
speaking to the
Shut
Web
that one
Summit in Lisbon, Portugal, when she said, quote, 10, 20, 30 years from now, there's no reason why we can't be as big or bigger than Disney. There's actually a lot of reasons why.
Does she know what Disney is?
Maybe not. Now, that's a tall order, that's putting it mildly, especially given recent transactions. I mean, they bought Fox for like $70 billion. However, there's no reason why we can't get there.
Yes,
There's
there
a
is.
lot of reasons. You have to dream big, have big, bold goals, and go after them.
Well, that's true.
The big lead notes that WWE's market cap is about $6 billion, whereas Disney's is almost $173 billion.
So if Disney just burned...
Disney is worth 30 times almost WWE.
But you know what? Aim high.
No, I
Aim
agree.
high.
I agree.
Isn't that her point right here? Just,
it is.
think big.
If it's one thing to say, we're going to aim high. We have a lot of goals we want to hit over the next 10, 20, 30 years. We want to rival some of the larger entertainment companies in the world. Totally cool.
Yeah.
To say you're going to best Disney?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Well, hold on a second now. Slow your roll a bit, okay? Let's look at these side by side.
All right.
You've got the Marvel Cinematic Universe versus the Marine Cinematic Universe. What's,
Advantage Disney.
You've got...
You got world theme parks across the world.
Uh-huh.
You have WrestleMania access. Advantage Disney.
You've got, what was that Kane movie?
See No Evil.
See No Evil Cinematic Universe. Star Wars.
Advantage Disney.
You've got the tape library of WCCW. No, you've got the
WWC.
The entire run of WCW Thursday Thunder.
Yeah.
And on the other side, you
have several channels dedicated to your original programming. Advantage Disney.
Let's see here.
There's a huge problem why WWE will never even come close to rivaling Disney. Despite the size of WWE, professional wrestling, as we see with the ratings, is still a niche product.
Yeah, totally.
And try as they might, I don't see any sort of period where it will even ever get close to the ratings and popularity it had during the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
The television landscape, the entertainment landscape is so different now. There's so many other options, so many other ways to consume programming. It's just hard to imagine that ever happening.
Yeah, man. Disney has Pixar.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Pixar's probably worth more than WWE.
If I was gonna say, if Pixar left Disney somehow, some way, they would be bigger than the WWE.
Right now, Lucasfilm, even though Disney paid $4 billion for it, given the success of the movie,
they've already made that money back, and then some, and then some.
Lucasfilm by itself is probably worth more than WWE.
Yeah. Oh man. Well,
I mean, it's good to, like I said, it's good to have goals, and it's good to expand
goals,
and grow your
man.
company. Any company should want to expand, because if you're not expanding, you're dying.
Well, I mean, but is it weird that they haven't done more with their movie studio?
No, because they don't make any money off them.
Yeah, but they could. You can make money off of a $10 million movie these days. Just make a good one.
No, I know. That's how. Well, that's the thing. Make a profitable one.
It's not that difficult to do.
Is it Blumhouse?
Yeah.
They make their movies for super cheap, and they all make a ton of money, or a lot of them make a ton of money.
Is that like the Paranormal Activity?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man.
So I don't know. Part of the problem is WWE feels like they could have their wrestlers in their movies.
That's not part of the problem.
I mean, for entertainment, for us, it's great.
The problem is they need to double down on that. They just haven't made the right one. Are you kidding me? Do this. Spend $1 million. Listen, this is great. Oh my God, this is great. Spend $1 million to get, or $3 million, whatever he costs, Guy Ritchie to make a movie out of the
British
WWE
strong
UK
style.
guys.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? WWE UK is already like lock, stock, and two smoking barrels.
Yeah,
anyways.
the problem is Guy Ritchie's not a very good filmmaker.
Well, tell him to make movies like he did back when I liked them.
Okay.
Just tell him to make lock, stock, two smoking barrels.
All right.
But with NXT UK.
With Pete Dunne.
Dude, you wouldn't watch that with Zach Gibson in the starring role?
I would watch that.
I would watch the shit out of it.
But it's not not enough people would watch it for it to make $100 million.
Yeah, you're totally right about that.
You're taking a niche product and making it even more niche.
I want them to do it.
How much did Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels make at the box office? 20 million?
A lot.
20 million?
Tons of money.
30 maybe?
Oh, look at that. King Guivices.
Cast that with wrestlers.
Oh man,
you're lucky if you get half that.
See, look, you are profiting off this because King here bought not only the video comic book, but one of those that you do profit off.
There you go.
See, you're too much.
Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels.
I'm
How
gonna
much
find
it
out
make?
right now. Lock, stock.
Because I appreciate the goals, but this doesn't seem realistic to me.
So it cost about 1.3 million American and made 28 American
Okay.
$million.
You can expect a Lock, Stock with wrestlers to make about half that.
That much?
Yeah, at most. I wonder what the most profitable movie starring a wrestler is. Was produced by WWE, I should say.
Oh.
Not including, something that John Cena did on his own.
Was
The
that
Rock, obviously.
Halle Berry movie? Was that?
Was there a wrestler?
Was there
in
a
that?
wrestler in that one?
I know they produced it. There was a Colin Farrell movie that
it
WWE
was probably
produced.
the first Marine movie.
Could be.
Let's find out.
That Colin Farrell movie that WWE produced that had Wade Barrett in it, in a supporting role.
Let's see how the first Marine did.
I mean, it made enough to launch a franchise.
Holy crap! Well, it had a budget of $15 million.
How much did it make?
22.
That's not that great.
That really isn't that great.
Made less than Lock, Stock.
Cena looked great though. Less than Lock, Stock. Let's see here. List of WWE
highest grossing WWE produced
films.
Here, I'll move on to this next story.
Yeah,
Apparently,
sure.
Triple H really loves the indies. Gabe Sapolsky was on PW Insider Elite earlier this week and had the following to say about Triple H's admiration for independent wrestling. Quote, Triple H sees real value in the indies and the independents as a farm league for WWE. He didn't mention that. That's my note. He recognizes where talent is coming from, and obviously with the Performance Center, they get talent from a whole bunch of different places. But he understands that the independents are an important part of that pipeline, and he also understands that it's important for the independents to be strong and for things to be there. So it's not that difficult because there is a value in Evolve for WWE and NXT. I think elsewhere in this interview, he talked about NXT talents going to Evolve. We saw Street Profits win their tag titles. We saw Fabian Eichner win their world title. And I think in the same thing, he talked about there was talk of Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch going to Evolve. And Gabe said, what value is it for them to go to the independents for anything? They've already been there.
Yeah.
They've already cut their teeth in the independents significantly. So I wonder if part of the attitude now for Triple H is he understands the value that Performance Center can provide to developmental talents, but at the same time, there's developmental talents that didn't wrestle a ton on the indies, and maybe after having a bunch of prominent indie wrestlers come through NXT, and still being there, moving on the main roster, he starts to understand the value that provides them that the Performance Center just can't.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So maybe he's sending, for example, Street Profits. I don't know how much Angelo Dawkins wrestled on the indies, but I don't think Montez Ford really wrestled at all before coming to the Performance Center. So they can gain that experience. So I just wonder if now, rather than just saying, okay, well, you're coming to the Performance Center to learn the WWE style, you're coming to the Performance Center now to learn that, plus what it's like to wrestle out on the indies.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, that could be. I mean, it's diametrically opposed to what we saw in My Career Mode this year, where Triple H just
looking to literally crush an independent promotion. I know.
Exactly. But I mean, look, man.
Did you find anything out over there?
Triple H is a smart guy. Not really. No, what was interesting, so apparently Rock's first three movies, Scorpion King, The Rundown, and Walking Tall, were all WWE Productions had a hand in it, probably just because The Rock was in them.
Yeah.
So it's probably one of those. Walking Tall it profited about $11 million. The Rundown.
It really took Rock's movie career to really take a while to take off.
Oh my God! Wow, Jesus. The Rundown cost $85 million to make.
Oh my gosh!
And it only brought in $81 million. I'm surprised it made $81 million. To be honest with you. Scorpion King cost. Whoa, shit! Oh, it's got to be Scorpion King. Production companies: WWF Entertainment and Alphaville Film. Alphaville? Why does that sound familiar?
That's the Jean-Luc Godard movie.
No, I know, but
yeah, I don't remember whose production company that is.
That made $100 million. That made $105 million. So it's probably Scorpion King.
Yeah, but that wasn't a movie wholly developed and produced by WWE.
No,
Films.
that was
a studio movie that they got attached.
Let's
to.
see what See No Evil made. See No Evil made $10 million
off of
$8 million budget.
No, yeah, it's not that great.
And so it made it profited $10 million.
Yeah. Oh, profited $10 million.
Gotcha, so it made like $19 million. Let's see here. Wow, even Stone Cold's movie profited $5 million. The Condemned.
Mm-hmm.
Behind Enemy. Oh, let's see. How much do you think Mr. Kennedy's movie Behind Enemy Lines, Columbia
lost $300,000?
It doesn't even say. Oh, let's see what the first 12 rounds made. It profited $7 million.
What the one with Dolph Ziggler in it as a cop? How much did that make?
Was that 12? No.
That was Countdown or something like that.
Perfect. Here we go. I guarantee it's not going to say.
Yeah, probably. I think that was straight to video.
Yeah, dude. No, it doesn't say.
Bummer.
Oh, damn, we need to watch that movie.
We do.
Amazing.
It does look amazing.
So yeah, Triple H, Independence. I think he's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing.
He does.
Did you see all those notice all those pictures of him like about to go into surgery, and then after surgery he always had his phone with him. That dude's just sitting here.
Oh, he's doing work, man.
And then we're gonna have a takeover, War Games 2021. This is what's gonna happen here.
Exactly.
By that time, intergender wrestling will be totally cool in WWE. So we're gonna have Candice LeRae winning the NXT Championship from Trent Beretta. He already has signees lined up.
I know. You want to answer some questions?
Why don't you go to the Twitter?
I'm already
and
on the Twitter. I'm
I'll
already
go
there.
to
Mikey Omega. Which fast food chain has the best French fries?
Well, McDonald's, I think, laces theirs with crack. So
it's beef fat.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
They get the advantage.
It's so flipping good. Now the question is, what would you rather have? Because this is a question for me. I don't know about how you feel about the curly fries, but part of me would, man, if you put McDonald's fries in front of me and then Arby's curly fries in front of me, I don't know. I got to make that's a big decision for me.
All right.
I got to make a decision there.
Broken Ambulance, in response to the gift that you put for the question thread. How can anyone dislike that man? We've heard nothing but good things about him in the locker room. He's incredibly polite and well-mannered. He was one of the first people to hug Roman after his announcement. Isn't it more likely that creative is garbage?
I don't really equate one with the other. What would his creative being garbage?
I mean, his creative's been pretty good.
I don't know. What would that have to do with his attitude problems?
Nothing.
No, I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. None of us know. We're not there.
Yeah.
We hear things from people who, say that people say things, and then we try to figure things out.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know.
Who knows if it's true?
Let's say this is from Nicholas Combs. You're only allowed one plug for your show from the following legends. Who do you pick? Undertaker, Triple H, Ric Flair, Stone Cold Steve Austin, or The Rock? So I would eliminate Flair, and you're left with 4 tough choices.
For me, it's down to 3.
Okay.
Taker, Stone Cold, and The Rock.
No I find it funny that you're watching Going in Raw. Doesn't do much for you, huh?
No, it does, but, I mean, Taker, we got the shirt thing.
Yeah.
Granted, we got the Triple H one, but we're really running with this like a dog
big
thing.
time, yeah.
So,
running it into the ground, yeah.
And then Stone Cold and The Rock, or just Stone Cold and The Rock?
I mean, The Rock is Stone Cold, the top draw in history.
Yeah.
And my favorite wrestler ever. The Rock is literally
top movie star in the world.
The biggest celebrity on the planet.
You got to go with The Rock then.
It's got to be The Rock.
Yeah, it's got to be The Rock.
But then would Rock move? Here's the thing, though. Here's the problem, though. I don't think The Rock would geek. I'll put it this way. Prior to me getting the Undisputed Era intro, if you were to say, poll the audience, who would you rather see intro Going in Raw? Undisputed Era or anybody here?
Probably Undisputed Era.
Probably.
Because for probably 2 reasons. 1, they probably appreciate the work. 2, they know how much we like them.
There's a connection.
Yeah.
So it's probably Undertaker. And he'd have to say like a dog.
Yeah, maybe. But just imagine The Rock saying, "This is The Rock. You're watching the most electrifying wrestling podcast going in Raw."
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
But The Undertaker.
Yeah, I know.
And then if he made a Lady Jim reference or something.
So that's a lot to ask of Mark Calloway.
Way too much.
Yeah, probably wouldn't happen.
I would never do it, but we have lots of brave friendos out there
true.
who might be seeing him at meetups later.
Oh, gosh, that's right. That's next weekend.
Oh, God.
John Ortolaza, should WWE get rid of all pay-per-views except the Big Four and Money in the Bank? I personally think it would give the main roster so much more time to breathe and be able to put on those special events in other countries without it being in between 2 pay-per-views.
No, man, we need revenue.
Yeah.
So from our own business perspective, it'd be terrible. Creatively speaking, I don't know, man. I'm not sure I'd want to live back in the days when, like, nothing would happen between big pay-per-views. You'd get your Saturday night main events here and there, but that's a whole lot of nothing. So I'm gonna say no. I like having.
Yeah. No, monthly pay-per-views are fine.
Yeah.
Sean Lathrop, do TV deals even matter anymore for wrestling? Indie scene seem to do well without them. Just look at the amount of money WWE made with their TV deal. They definitely matter still.
If Defy Wrestling, I'll just throw Defy out there. If they got even like a tiny chunk of that WWE money, everybody from the guy starting out would be able to make a living just wrestling in Defy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, TV money means a whole lot.
Yep.
Like, I would imagine that well, I'm not going to say that. Let's see here.
Dragon Reborn, who would you rather be if you had to fight Minoru Suzuki in the ring? The only chance you have is if you yourself were also Minoru Suzuki.
Oh, interesting.
Younger Minoru Suzuki. So if I were Minoru Suzuki from his days in Pancrase.
Yeah, sure.
Taking on Minoru Suzuki of today.
I might have a good chance.
Like my chances.
Sure. DeMarcus Williams has a question about the fun Steve W draft coming up.
Yes.
Is the draft you're doing for wacky characters or non-wacky characters?
Anybody.
Man.
Anybody.
Did you see that monster heel that somebody put up today?
Mm-mm.
Where is he? You didn't see this? Oh, man. He has Steve W written all over him.
Oh, okay.
Let's if I can find him.
It's going to be my first draft pick then.
Damn it. Better not be.
Shouldn't have mentioned anything about it.
I know. But look, this is my most coveted prize right now.
Oh, definitely. First overall if I win.
I know it was after this. What the hell? Where'd he go? Very disappointed now. So after this, maybe it was on my personal.
All right.
Read another question.
Fisky Business. Do you think the rumors about Vince's opinion of people should be always taken with a grain of salt? Braun is in the world title scene, but apparently has heat, and everyone says that Vince loves Almas, but he doesn't even get to be on the Survivor Series team.
Look, this is from King of Clubs. Monster heel.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, man. Except I would put so much more blood on him.
Oh, of course.
Every time he comes out, he'd have more blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, any rumor you hear about anything going on in wrestling, you should take with a grain of salt.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What was the main question? Take the Braun stuff with a grain of salt?
Well, anything, any rumors here about Vince's opinion on people?
I mean, you sort of learn to trust certain people over other certain people, you know? I mean, I think some of the dirt sheets, you know.
Yeah. Some are more truthful or accurate. I think it's accurate.
Yeah. Like, if Pro Wrestling Sheet had something, I'd believe it. Ryan Satin seems
He
very...
seems very diligent in terms
Yeah,
of getting
exactly.
sources,
I don't think he'd put out bullshit, you know? I really don't.
Super Saiyan God Chris. If Braun really is letting his position get to his head, who should take his place as top face until he humbles? Finn, Seth, or Elias?
Can we just do Finn?
Yeah,
Can we
Finn.
please just do Finn.
Just Finn.
Seth will be fine. Just do Finn. Charlie Rios. Which retro pay-per-views should come back, and which current
Halloween
ones
Havoc
should be? I was going to say Halloween
Spin
Havoc.
the wheel, make the deal.
Yeah, there you go.
Greg.
Cyber Tuesday.
No. Greg Moore, since you have Honor Club, would you ever consider reviewing any old Ring of Honor shows? I'd love to recommend some. My favorite live show ever is Death Before Dishonor 6. It had Steen and Generico versus Motor City Machine Guns, Nigel McGuinness versus Claudio
Castagnoli.
Yes. Cesaro versus Tyler Black versus Bryan Danielson for the title. That was probably
Holy
really good.
crap. Death Before Dishonor 6?
Yeah.
I don't know if we'd like review them, but I definitely want to dig into Honor Club and like watch some of that old stuff.
Exactly.
Man. Definitely.
MFKN Dave, rate Drew out of 10. If you're saying anything less than 11, you're lying. What's the largest number? Infinity.
Yeah.
Drew
Infinity.
is infinite.
Yeah. I don't even know what that means. Oh, wow. The Rad Dan. I know a lot of people, including both of you, gave up on Dolph Ziggler. But in your opinion, what would it take for Dolph
I haven't given up on him.
to become as relevant as back in 2012 again?
Well, there's too much talent for that to really happen.
So you've given up on him.
I
That
haven't
means you've given
on him.
up.
I think right now he's in a really good spot.
So he can't come back to the same relevance he had in 2012. If you say he can, then explain why. If you say he can't, that means you've given up on him.
No, I've not given up on him because it seems like an all or nothing situation. He can't. I don't really see him necessarily being a world champion ever again. However, he can still hold down a really solid spot in the mid card, and that's not a bad spot to have.
You're giving up on him.
I'm not giving up.
He makes over $1 million a year. He's doing just fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
I don't personally find anything he does particularly interesting as a character. I'm sure as a person, he's a lovely human being. He's a hell of an athlete, and he's had a hell of a career that he should be proud of. I personally would rather see somebody else in his spot.
Piggy Carnage, kayfabe reason why Braun shows up late and leaves early.
And I'm not sure there's anything that I don't know if I can bring him back to relevance for me.
Kayfabe reason why Braun shows up late and leaves early.
Oh,
it means Braun. He'd probably if someone tells him to stop. What, you want to get these hands? Says Braun, the show's not early. I'm finished with the show.
Exactly.
That's what he says.
I mean, well, yeah, kayfabe reason, that's the easiest reason in the world. Because he's Braun and he does what he wants to do.
Yep.
The more interesting thing is backstage reasons why Braun Strowman shows up late and leaves early. You can't be a locker room leader if you're doing that.
No, if you're a leader, you're supposed to show up, be the first one in, last one out.
Exactly.
Yep.
Ryan Supernova. In kayfabe, why do wrestlers do entrances? On Wednesday, Lars was hell-bent on destroying Dream, so why did he run through his whole entrance routine?
That's a good question.
Well, the more pertinent question there is, why do they have entrance routines? Like like when that's one of those things. It's so comical.
Yeah, you really suspend disbelief.
You know, why do you do the same exact thing every time you come down to the ring? I mean, I guess maybe in sports there's the routine, aspect of things. I know, especially baseball players are very superstitious.
They're creatures of habit. Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their routine, but even in MMA. There's entrances there. They make a big deal about coming down the octagon. They got the music
it's to hype
playing,
yourself up,
lights, and to hype up the audience for that
for
person.
you. Yeah,
it's all about showmanship, and there's nothing wrong with that. Dalton, what's the most disappointing feud of 2018?
Bullet Club versus Bullet Club.
Mm-hmm. Just about to say the same thing.
Or the Elite versus Firing Squad. You can't just tweet your way out of a feud, man. I'm sorry, you shouldn't be. Doing
Wayne
that.
Maker says, "Hi, Wankers. Best and worst of all time. Big men.
Best big man of all time? Diesel. Boy, don't give me that look. Is he still champion of that?
I don't think so.
Bummer. Big time wrestling. Best big man of all time.
I think with Andre.
Brock Lesnar.
Cruiserweight.
Best cruiserweight of all? Ray.
Eddie.
Well, I mean, was he actually a cruiserweight?
He was in WCW.
Yeah, I know, but really.
Best women's wrestler.
Oh, wait, Dean Malenko. But no, I give it to Ray. Man, Ray.
Women's wrestler. We're really doing great. Oh, worst big man is Giant Gonzalez, right?
Or Great Khali.
Yeah.
One of those two. Hey, Giant Gonzalez could move.
Yeah, kind of.
Great Khali. Man, talk about it.
Especially
It hurts watching him.
Who's the worst cruiserweight?
Wasn't Disco Inferno a cruiserweight?
Mm-hmm.
Disco Inferno.
Right. Best women's wrestler.
I don't know. Like the Japanese scene has, like,
that we know of.
Okay, I don't
I'd say
know.
Lita.
Yeah, Lita, or I don't know. Probably Charlotte, to be honest with you.
Worst women's wrestler.
Oh, probably. What was that GoDaddy lady?
Oh, Candice Michelle.
Probably.
Yeah. Tag team.
You know, I was thinking about that the other day. I kind of appreciate, like, that's one thing I appreciate about Mandy Rose, is that these days, if you're going to fill that type of role, like the sex symbol type thing, they make damn well sure in the first place that they have all the talent to back, to just do, to back it up, basically. So you're not just getting, like, just sort of an empty character.
Yeah.
Mandy Rose is great, man. I think she's fantastic.
Yeah, she's good. Best tag team.
Best tag team ever?
Yeah.
Probably the Hardys.
Road Warriors.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. It's the Road Warriors. Yeah, you're good.
Worst.
Yeah.
A lot to choose from.
So many to choose from. The Enforcers.
All right.
Why does Larry Zbyszko get to be an enforcer? There's
I don't
one
get that
enforcer.
either.
His
I
name's
thought he
Arn
was already the
Anderson.
living legend. Could he be an enforcer and a living legend?
Why couldn't they combine their names? The Enforcing Legends? The Living Enforcers?
The Legendary Enforcers.
There you go.
Best and worst gimmicks.
Oh, no. You know what the worst tag team of all time was? DDP and Jay Leno.
Yeah. That's pretty bad.
Anyways, what?
Best and worst gimmicks.
Well, I mean, worst has to be the Shockmaster, right?
Yeah.
Like, what even was that?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that was.
I mean,
Or the Godfather.
Yeah.
Sex trafficker. That was his gimmick.
Best gimmick.
Oh, Undertaker.
Yeah.
That was,
it's hard to beat that.
Absolutely.
Best and worst manager. Heenan's best manager.
Heenan or Jimmy Hart?
Heyman got to be up there for best manager too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I'll say Heenan. Paul Ellering as well. Worst manager.
Paul Ellering should actually be number one
because he was legitimately their manager.
He actually got their flights and hotels.
Yep.
What now? What's
worst manager?
Oh, worst manager. Who was useless? Oh man, can we put Ryback on worst big man?
Yeah.
Worst manager.
I'm trying to think of a situation. Someone had a manager. It set them back.
Yeah, I know exactly. Well, I don't know.
All right, we'll think about that some more. Commentators, best commentator ever. JR.
Yeah, it's JR.
JR is the best ever.
Yeah. My favorite commentating name to this day is JR and Paul Heyman. Man, talk about like not. They didn't let them do that long enough. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I really love that team.
But the worst commentator.
Oh, that dude who used to say that his name was Jeff Harvey. What was that dude's name? Was it Mike Adamle?
Yeah.
Was it him?
Yeah.
We got this video coming up with Jeff Harvey. Fucking who?
Hardy,
dude. Come on. Most underrated commentary team, Matt Stryker and Vampiro.
Yeah, man.
That's my favorite. Anyways, that's it for the show. We'll do a post show, but it's probably not going to be live, so I don't know what we're going to do. Really kills us when we can't do stuff live.
I know.
Anyways, that's it for show. Thanks so much for tuning in. Go to Friendo Market, buy my comic. I got to go to Europe. Uh-oh. Anyways, that's it for show. Thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.